are now entering Armbar Audio.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Armbar Audio. I am your host, Tim Farley, and next to me is my trusty companion,
John Kearns. What's up, everybody? I was about to stream what's up before he said hello because I forgot we weren't on the universe.
yeah, we're on our show.
You heard that was about to happen, didn't you?
How about that?
Yes,
I did. That's why I cut your ass off. Now, if you're watching the video, you can see that we're joined by a lovely person. His name is Mr. Warren Hayes, and he came all the way from the great white north.
It is very, very north. It's north today. Yeah, absolutely. It's actually pretty, like it's sweater weather today. It's like 43 degrees outside. Like I opened up my windows and then at some point today I was like, it's cold in here. So, sometimes, you're not entirely wrong when you talk about Canada being cold all the time. I'm like, Jesus.
Right. Is that what do you refer to everyone as guys like, don't you have a daughter, right?
I do, yes.
Do you say, hey, guys, let's go? And like,
pretty much.
I do, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Pretty much.
She's probably going to name her firstborn son Guy.
That way it makes things
for Grandpa.
It's easier for everyone, if you just give them, call them guys.
Guy.
Right.
Hey, Guy.
All right, so we love to shoot the shit with Warren because Warren's like one of our best friends from the internet.
Seriously.
And hopefully one day we get to meet each other in real life and touch each other's faces and caress each other's hair. But we're actually here for.
I'm gonna have to do it because I'm secretly blind, so I will have to touch your faces.
Oh, okay. Well, now it's not a secret.
Yeah.
Well, to like 40 people who watch this, but anyway.
Oh, there you go.
To those 40 people, feel fucking privileged. Anyway, we are here for a purpose, if you can believe that. AEW Double or Nothing happens this Saturday or Sunday. It happens on Sunday, Christ. And if you're wondering why, hey, guys, you dipshits, Friday is the go-home show. Well, guess what? We are dipshits. We forgot about it. But even so, it doesn't matter because I'm getting my second vaccine on Friday. So I'm keeping my schedule clear if I get any of those flu-like symptoms.
I went to the Columbus Zoo yesterday. Went on a day trip.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
No, I'm gonna say why I'm a dipshit. We got home, rushed home. It was 8:30. I rushed to the TV, flipped the TNT, and basketball was on. And I said, "Oh shit, that's right. It's on Friday."
Who's playing?
Huh? I don't know. I turned it off.
Oh, fuck you.
Fuck basketball.
Fuck you. What, are you one of those people who are like, the 3-point line was created. It's not real.
No, I'm one of those person that doesn't watch sports.
Oh, yeah. I would be, honestly, if I had a son and he wasn't into the shit that me and Callie are into and he wanted to do sports, a little part of me inside would be broken.
Yeah.
But I'd love him anyway,
Right.
But anyway, so, Warren, how'd you like that?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. As kids will help you broaden your horizons. Let's put it that way. They will help you discover things that you previously didn't know. And this is the critical part. I think this is really the critical part. Outside of whatever interests they develop, they will, just because they're going to go out and meet other kids. They're going to play with kids, and you're going to set up play dates, right?
Right.
And you're going to go at some point, you're going to talk to the parents on the phone and says, hi, I'm so-and-so's parent. Oh, hi, I'm so-and-so. How you doing? Yeah. So this afternoon one, I'll drop her off. What's your address? And then you go, and then you start meeting these people.
Oh,
and these people, some of them super nice, but some of them people that you would never, ever meet in your life, that you have nothing in common with, that you're like, I'm talking to adults that I would have no other reason to talk to If it wasn't for the fact that our kids are going to play, Transformers for the rest of the afternoon.
Yes. Right.
That's so weird. Birthday parties, all that stuff, man.
Did you ever watch The League?
I've never watched The League.
Are you familiar with Jean Lajoie?
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, he's from my hometown, actually.
Right. So this birthday song.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It was like the first episode where his niece was having a birthday party. He started playing that song.
Warren, I'm actually looking at the chat now. Your beautiful wife, Kristen Ashley, says hi to you.
Oh, hello, Kristen.
And
how you doing?
Pablo B23 asks, regards from Spain, who is the Joker at the Casino Battle Royal?
Well,
we'll be getting into that momentarily.
We're going to talk about that now. I don't know why I muted myself.
Let's talk about the buy-in first before we do that.
Oh, we're going to talk about the buy-in?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
That'll be a good one. Serena Deeb and Rio.
Okay. I'll take Serena Deeb because they're not going to let Rio go to Japan with the National Wrestling Alliance title.
I have to agree with that.
But, I mean, it's going to be a great match. Why not? And it's called the buy-in. So for all the people who are complaining, this so good, why are you taking on the main show? Well, it's to get you to buy the show and not stream it on illegal websites.
One, they're being trusted with the first match in front of a full capacity crowd since March 2020. Two, it's another company's belt. I mean, like,
great point, John. Mr. Warren Hayes.
Also, not the first time the NWA Women's title has been defended on the buy-in.
Yes. Mr. Warren Hayes, I'm going to borrow a line from Conrad Thompson. What say you?
I thought you were going to say talk me up.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say chat me up. I'm somewhat disappointed. Now, this match is going to rule. This match is absolutely going to rule. If you just base off of Serena Deeb's performance last week against Red Velvet when that was her first match back from injury. And man, she was starving to do some wrestling. That was an amazing match. That was such a strong TV match that they had. So, Serena Deeb, she lost to Rio in the tournament, right? That they held for the women's title a couple of months ago. So there's history there. I think Deeb is going to do whatever it takes to stay on top of that one. But I mean, look, the NWA is something else. Let's put it this way. It's unique. I agree. I don't think they're going to be dropping any titles on an AEW show. Frankly, like right now, the title feels a little secondary because I really feel like Serena Deeb is outshining the belt because the NWA is just in the state that it's in right now. And Serena Deeb is such a good wrestler. She's so good at what she does. So I'm just excited to see the match, regardless.
I don't watch Power for reasons, but
I don't watch.
Well, you have to subscribe to it. It's behind a paywall.
It's behind a paywall now.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, either way, even if it was free, I probably still wouldn't watch it. But
it being free on YouTube was what made people watch it in the first place.
Yeah. But apparently, there was a #1 contenders match for the NWA Women's title this week. It was between Camille and Thunder Rosa. It went to a time limit draw. So I assume on the next fight special or pay-per-view, as it were, it'll be a 3-way.
It went to a time limit draw?
Yes. So they're setting up like a 3-way.
So if they both lost, what does that mean for Thunder Rosa? Is she allowed to go other places or not?
What are you talking about?
That's what
that was the gimmick. That was the thing.
Oh, see, that's how much I do not know.
I only know it because of him.
I think it's because they're setting up like a 3-way or something. Yeah.
But was that it? I thought it was happening on their pay-per-view. I'm just catching up here. Because the thing that the wild thing is, Thunder Rosa cut this promo on Power where she's like, I'm proud to be an ambassador for the NWA, going to AEW and wrestling over here and over there and wrestling all over the world for the NWA, right? And then Camille comes in and she says, you're all over the place. And they made a match where if Thunder Rosa loses the match, she can only wrestle at NWA. And that just blows my mind. It's like, so the punishment for losing a match is that you can't wrestle anywhere else. You can't continue being a brand ambassador. You can only stay here. That's your punishment. I'm like, I don't understand.
That seems more like
so
a
what you're saying is that
to Billy Corgan.
But so this match already happened?
I looked on a cage match last night, and I saw it. I done synced it.
It went to a time limit draw. Oh my god! Yeah, you're right. Oh,
choo. I don't know. I have noise canceling on this microphone. I don't know if they heard that train horn or not, but it definitely happened.
Anywho's, we're spending too much time on this buy-in. Yeah. Let's go into the main show with the Casino Battle Royal. John, if you will, let us know who has all been announced as of Thursday afternoon. Because I'm sure they're going to say something tomorrow night and be like, oh, this guy isn't there.
While I'm bringing this up, I'll rattle off a couple that I remember off the top of my dome. I know Nick Comoroto is going to be in there.
I know the Blade is, but not the Butcher, I think.
Okay, so here's confirmed entrance. We have... Well, the TBA is the Joker. We'll talk about it in a minute. But we got Lee Johnson, Big Shotty. We got the Natural Dustin Rhodes. We got Nick Comoroto. We got QT Marshall. We got Anthony Bowens and Max Caster of the Acclaimed. I almost said Elite. I don't know why. Brian Pillman Jr., Griff Garrison. Don't know who the fuck that is. Preston Vance, Ken. You got Colt Cabana. We got Evil Uno. We got The Blade. We got Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn of Private Party. Oh, and Matt Hardy to complete the Hardy Party trifecta. We got Jungle Boy, we got Penta El Zero Miedo, we got Powerhouse Hobbs, we got Matt Sydal, and we got Christian Cage.
Okay. So I guess we'll talk about the Joker and then we'll take our predictions. I would very much love if we heard the final countdown.
Oh,
and
well, that's true.
The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, showed up. I don't know if that will happen. I haven't read any dirt sheet stuff in a while, so
well, not much to be believed from them anyway.
Warren,
my thoughts on Bryan Danielson,
or you could say that if you have thoughts.
Well, I mean, look. I don't think it's happening. Like frankly, I think Daniel Bryan is staying Daniel Bryan. How about that? I think that's.
So you think he's ultimately going to resign?
I think he's going to resign. Now, if it happens, and I would love to eat crow on this, because if he does show up, like, it is the biggest wrestling news of the past. Well, since AEW announced that it was happening, I think. Yeah. I mean, it's game changing. It's exciting. It's fantastic. But ultimately, I think he's going to end up with staying with the WWE. You know what I think? Look, I think it's a little improbable. I'm very 50-50 on it, but I think Nick Gage would be a fantastic Joker, because
MDK all fucking day.
Exactly.
That was my answer.
He's hot right now. He's super hot. Like, even people who've never watched GCW casually know who the guy is. You're in front of an AEW audience who is much more tuned in to what's happening on the independents than a WWE crowd is. So if this guy shows up, are you kidding me? The place erupts.
Oh, yeah.
The place goes nuts. And Tony Khan is he's keen to that. he's got a very good friend in one Jonathan Moxley as well, who works for that company. Like, there's a lot of things
and
that
Joseph
you could be like.
Janela.
And Janela as well. Yeah, I mean, so that's a super good point. So there's a lot of little elements that you could put together and be like, this is the kind of stuff that AEW would pull off. I'm not saying that they're going to sign him. They can absolutely do a one-off with him, like they did with Mercedes Martinez at the women's casino battle royal, or like Jeff Cobb, who showed up that one time on Dynamite.
The mercenary.
We've seen it. We've seen it with the TNT title as well. Just to create a moment, an event, hot crowd, you want to recreate this idea that these pay-per-views, anything can happen. Hey, I'd go with that. That'd be an easy pick.
And if that happened, he would be backstage, and he could get back Moxley for the 2 times that Moxley showed up on his show.
Yeah,
that'd be dope. That would actually be dope.
Yeah. Tell that mother I'll be waiting outside for him. Give him one of those.
Now it's not even a question. It's not even a question of forbidden doors anymore. It's like the walls are down. It's like there's no door frame. There's no wall. It's just the structure is completely torn down.
Yes, all of the villages outside of the castle are talking and going into their markets, each other's markets, and buying things now. And the castle is still run by an 80-year-old, and he's very confused.
But everyone around the castle is having a hell of a time. It's like weekly Mardi Gras.
They're like, thank God he almost has dementia because they don't know anything that we're doing. John, I know that Warren already took what was going to come out of your mouth. I know. So throw something else.
And I'm sad he did, because I was going to use something he said. I was going to say, hey, speaking of game changing.
See, that was a much better lead in than me. I missed opportunity on my end.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Nick Gage as well, solely for the John Moxley connection. Because they're wanting to build when Moxley versus Gage eventually happens. And it's going to happen.
Yeah, I assume Homecoming.
Yeah. Yes. A few other names that I've seen thrown around that I would be hyped for. Tony Deppen.
That'd be cool.
Would be very cool. Maybe bring Warhorse back for a one-off. That'd be awesome. Don't know that that's going to happen.
Lee Moriarty
lost
the IWTV title.
That'd be super dope, actually.
Yeah.
One name floating around a lot that I don't want to see is one Paul White.
Yeah, I agree.
And I said it on Twitter yesterday, actually. I love Paul White. Have since I was a kid. It shouldn't be Paul White.
No.
No.
He already won the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. What could he get?
What higher accolade could you possibly have?
And also, imagine him versus Kenny Omega. I don't want to see it.
No, not at all.
But I mean, they could make it like a big deal because this is the biggest challenger that Omega's ever had to wrestle.
Yeah, it could work down the line.
Yeah.
But he did say that he didn't want to come back to just commentate, though. He did say
true.
he wants to stretch his legs a bit.
Well, and I mean, where he could be used greatly is in the Nightmare Family and the Factory storyline. I think.
Sure.
I think
the point is that a battle royal is a good place to throw up some smoke and mirrors if your wrestler isn't entirely up to speed.
Right.
We haven't seen him wrestle. We don't know what kind of shape he's in. We don't know how much ring rust he's in. So it's a good place for him to do something, but that you can cover up because there's so many guys and whatnot. But if anything, Paul White doesn't have a good record in battle royals either.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a great record either.
Yeah. But you're saying
Daniel Bryan.
Brian
Danielson.
Brian Danielson. Me and Warren both want to see the Murder, Death, Kill gang show up.
That'd be awesome. It'd be
so good.
And it just proves again that AEW just has its fingers on the pulse.
Right.
That they get it. They understand what the fans are into. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's talk about Hangman Adam Page versus Brian Cage.
Wait, we didn't pick who we want to win the Battle Royal.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Because there's
I'm
a
going
winner
to
here.
go with if it is Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, I would pick him. But I'm not going to base my pick on the Joker. I'm going to base it on who has been listed. It is time to start the major push, since the crowds are coming back, of one young Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Yes. That's exactly what
Women
I was
love
say.
him. Guys love him.
Kids love him.
Kids love him.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
He's my second choice.
Well, who's your first?
Christian.
Oh,
Christian?
that's
Yeah,
a good. That's a
That
good
is a
one.
good pick.
Because when you think about it, Christian versus Kenny Omega, super fresh match. Like,
Very fresh.
and something that you can get behind. And let's be I'm going to be the first to say that I am surprised at how much Christian can still go.
You know what-
I really Christian has always been a good worker. He's always been a fantastic worker. He's been out of the duo. He's always been the better worker than Edge. That's not a knock on Edge. That's just how it is.
Edge had the charisma.
Yeah.
Edge had the charisma. He had that superstar thing, but Christian's a better worker overall, and he's been having some really good singles matches, like some really, really good singles matches, to a point where when he started saying, "I came into AEW to win titles," I'm like, okay, sure thing, pal. But now I'm like, okay, well, this would be a nice transitional, maybe not for All Out, but for the next, weekly Dynamite Supercard
Right. Yeah.
in a couple of weeks. I think it's a perfect challenge for Kenny Omega. It'd make a ton of sense, and it would be a great match on top of that.
I agree.
I think
have
the
it come
only
down to
reason-
both of them.
Yeah.
Because
I've come down
then-
to those two.
Then
for
you
sure.
can
And I agree.
use Christian to further push Jungle Boy as well. Because even if Jungle Boy loses to Christian, it would be a big thing.
Sure,
I mean,
absolutely. And I love Jungle Boy. I'm completely with you guys. Like, I wouldn't be mad if he won at all. Absolutely not.
I will say I definitely wouldn't be ashamed about showing some emotion if one Preston Vance got this victory. But also I think the only reason that I wouldn't say Christian Cage, even though I secretly do want Christian Cage to win, is because I don't want to hear more of this relies on WWE rejects bullshit from the IWC. But
One section of the IWC.
one section of the IWC.
I don't give a shit. You're a promoter. Honestly, no, but for real, you're a promoter. You do what's best for your company.
Yeah.
It's just as fucking simple as that.
I
Do
try really hard
what's
not to.
best for your company. The shit that people will buy tickets for, that will tune in on Wednesday nights to watch, so that you can renegotiate your fucking contract again, like with your network in another year, and get more money, but get more people to buy your paper. That's all that matters. That's really all that matters.
I know a casual wrestling fan who comes into the store that I work at, and she was like, did you know Sting's back on a different show? And I was like, yeah, it's pretty awesome, huh? And she was like, that show fucking rules. Much better than Raw and SmackDown. I was like, yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
She's not wrong.
No, she's not. So, next match, Brian Cage and Adam Page.
Yeah.
Is Ethan Page in there too?
No.
Is
Neither is Diamond
Sage
Dallas
going
Page.
to be at ringside?
It's also not in a cage. I wish it was.
Rage in a cage.
Anyway,
Rage in a Cage starring Adam Page and Brian Cage.
This match is happening because
Taz is a
Adam
rat
Page was number one, and Cage beat him and knocked him down the rankings a bit. And it's not for the FTW Championship, which is kind of weird to me. This match is happening for what purpose, though? Like, just rankings?
to fill a spot.
Warren, do you have
to get Adam on the show?
they beat him. Like Cage beat him, and then they proceeded to
and Hook and all them. Yeah,
you know, there's a little heat going on here, right? And frankly, like this match is happening because Adam Page and Brian Cage put on a hell of a match. That what is it now? 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
They put on a great match, like something really something that I was not expecting to be that good. And it reminded me how great Brian Cage is. Right. Because he's been, I would want to say a non-entity, but he hasn't been maybe used to the full extent of his capabilities. And him and Paige just worked so well. So when they booked it for the paper, it was like, yeah, give me another one of these. If what they gave us on Dynamite was like the TV match, I'm stoked for the pay-per-view match. Yeah. This is going to rule. This is probably the match I'm most looking forward to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's cool. It's going to be a good one. I'm going to go with Hangman Adam Page getting his redemption. I do believe there will be some shenanigans involving Ricky Starks and probably he'll probably come out and lay him out with Rochambeau and act all
then fun. You have the Dark Order who can get involved too.
And then the Dark Order will come out and run them off and raise Adam Page's hand.
Yeah.
And then
I'll give them this. I'll give AEW this. They don't shenanigan much with their pay-per-view matches, right? Yeah. They don't. There is a bit, but it rarely counts towards the finish. So
I'm saying after the finish.
Oh, after, after, just go nuts. Yeah. Absolutely.
When you were bringing up Ricky Starks, I said, well, let's not forget Hangman's friends clad in black and purple.
Yeah, I'm saying Paige gets the decisive victory.
Yeah,
Starks comes out, hits his move.
Because this is going to lead to a Dark Order versus Team Taz match eventually.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think there was a lot of flack given by some people about the use of Brody's son and with Preston and all them, and whatever. That's why I don't think he would win the Battle Royal, because it seems like they're not like burying Dark Order. They're kind of cooling them off a little bit,
right?
So people can get that out of their minds for now. So I mean, like if they lose in the Battle Royal and then something like this happens, then you have Preston Vance come down and lay out Starks. That'd be cool. Or, Colt Cabana or Stu Grayson, Evil Uno. I love Evil Uno. I wish he'd get a little bit more shine.
Evil Uno is great. I love him.
Yes.
I'm torn here because I don't know how much you 50-50 this, right? I don't know if that's how you go. And I think there's a lot of value in having Brian Cage come across as really super strong. And, if they're starting to establish him as breaking away from Team Taz, well, you kind of want to make him, his own guy. And, Adam Page is bulletproof at this point,
Or with the shenanigans and stuff. If something did happen during the match, maybe Ricky Starks causes Cage to lose in a weird way, and that further alongs Cage leaving Taz. But also, Paige doesn't really need the victory because we all know who's going to dethrone Omega.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So why not use the time in between to use Cage to his full capabilities?
I think so.
So yeah,
I'll still
stick with what I'm saying, but let's do something with Cage.
Yeah,
I'm on board with that. I'm on board with the let's do something with Cage train. Choo choo all the way.
John, your pick.
I I'm going to go with Brian Cage as well on this one.
As well?
Honestly. Didn't he say Brian Cage?
I think.
Yeah.
We kind of like danced around the answer.
We always dance around. That's what happens.
Dancing's fun. Took it as an elective.
We're almost always wrong anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, it's just fun to shoot the shit on a camera.
Let's
for
go
a global
with
audience.
Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
Now, I'll go last. John, I'll let you go first.
I'll go first. I was talking about this match yesterday on the way to our destination at length. I talked about being somewhat nervous to see Sting get in the ring again, but then I thought about it and I said, well, look, I mean, it's an tag team match, and all Sting has to do to satisfy this crowd is do the It's Showtime call, hit a Stinger Splash, and put somebody in a Scorpion Deathlock. You don't have to do as much as you may think you have to.
And also, let's say this. Sting is fine. He got hurt once.
I know.
And WWE got way too scared because they wanted to protect one of their golden eggs from the Shield.
Yeah.
And he got cleared, and they still were too afraid. So I think the trepidation of seeing Sting in the ring, I understand it, but I think it's a false. It's not a good thing to have.
It's only because I love Sting.
Yeah, no, I understand. So what else?
And I said that Sting and Darby Allin is the hotness right now, for sure. Even with Darby losing the TNT title, there's still the hotness.
Yeah, Darby losing the TNT title did not take his stock down.
Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page is something new that they are trying to put steam behind. For that reason, Sky and Page should get the victory.
But will they?
But will they? That remains to be seen.
So
I predict they will.
You're picking Paige and Sky.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Warren
Hayes.
Hayes.
We need to solidify Sky's heel persona.
He did call Sting Steve.
Yeah.
I was a little ticked.
That's some heel shit right there.
I think that the smart money is on Paige and Sky here, because I think they've been very flip-floppy with Scorpio Sky since SCU lost the titles. I think they've tried stuff like half-heartedly, then sort of no, okay, we'll still have you wrestle like on the YouTube shows, and then he pops back up, and then they're trying to get the heel character going, but it feels like a start-stop situation. Now it feels like since Ethan Page has been there, now things are taking off. And this is very much, my opinion. Everything I've been saying is my opinion. There's no facts here. I feel like Ethan Page's run so far has been very average. Like it's been lukewarm. How about that?
They brought him in and used him in a similar fashion to Cage. Comes out on a pay-per-view, everyone gets excited. They already have merchandise to put out that night of the person, and then
just sort of. So I'm of the belief that if you really want to commit to these two guys being heels, strong heels, interesting heels, I think you have to give them the win. And as you said, I don't think either Darby or Sting are going to be hurt by this. Darby is on fire. I don't think he can do anything wrong in the eyes of the fans. Sting is super cool right now as well. I don't think he's been this cool in years. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do. 62-year-old Steve Borden in the ring and doing a lot more than I already expected him to do.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, all it takes is a Stinger Splash and a Scorpion Deathlock, and people will be freaking out of their minds. That's all you need. But I think the guy's going to do more, because I was talking about this a couple of days ago. I think Steve Borden is a bit like Taker when in his documentary, when he was talking about, wanting to go out on my own terms, wanting to, just always having something to prove, that I want to leave the business, but I can't, kind of. I think this is where he's at. I don't think that he feels like he got any kind of au revoir from WWE. And I think he wants to give himself the opportunity to leave on his terms and doing things that he wants to do. So maybe, and he's no dummy, probably realizes that all he needs to do is 2 or 3 moves in the ring and people are going to go nuts. But I think he wants to prove something to himself, and I can get behind that. I mean, as long as he doesn't get hurt, that's fine.
I'd be lying if I said my inner 8-year-old self wouldn't have a party in my mind if he hit a diving crossbody like he used to. I mean,
party in your mind? Come on, John. You'd be shouting in the seat.
Well, yeah, I would. I'm trying to come up with more elegant ways to say things. But so, my inner WCW kid is going to be happy no matter what.
I'll say this. I am surrounded by 2 smart men. Because, yes, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky will get the decisive victory over Darby Allin and Sting. And for all of the reasons that have already been mentioned, but also because Darby Allin and Ethan Page had the best feud in all of Evolve's history. It put Darby Allin on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan Page was kind of already on the map because of Gargano, but that story needs to keep moving forward. And Sting and Darby already proved their cohesive worth in that theatrical match against Team Taz. I believe something like you guys are talking about him hitting a couple of moves here and there.
Yeah.
I think the end of the match will have Sting brawling Sky on the outside, possibly getting involved with some foreign objects. And while this is happening, Paige will take control of Darby and beat Darby. I don't think Sting's going to take the loss because he's Sting. And Darby taking the loss will further along the storyline between Ethan and Darby. Yes. There you go.
There you go.
So all 3 of us say that Sting and Darby will not win on Sunday.
Let's do Cody, the American Dream Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. A match in which Anthony Ogogo is supposed to be the heel, but is definitely 100% not.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say that there are worldwide fans, and the ones belonging in America, most of them, are cheering for Cody, and the ones belonging in the UK are cheering for Ogogo.
A lot of the ones in America are cheering for Ogogo.
Because there's ever since Cody Rhodes existed, there has been this bullshit. Straight
and
bullshit.
I know it's bullshit, and I know it's bullshit, and you know that I know it's bullshit, so don't throw this at me. That Cody promo was weird as fuck.
What?
It was weird as
fuck. I fucking loved it. Because it went all into the American Dream stuff. You know? I don't know. But the bullshit that I'm talking about is Cody always wins. Cody's only average.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how
he doesn't always win. The guy can't even challenge for the world title anymore. He's already said that he doesn't even see himself wrestling for like another 5 years or whatever. I think that, you want to establish a star out of the factory, and it's not going to be QT Marshall. No. It's definitely going to be a go-go out of the other 2, Solo and Comortero. I'm not saying that they're not good, but a go-go, he's got the presence and he's got a name. And also, he's pretty good in the ring. You know, that's another thing I saw online. You know, like, why isn't he wrestling?
Because he's a boxer.
Because he's a fucking boxer. If he throws somebody up in the air and he punches them in the jaw, that's fucking awesome.
Mike Tyson didn't wrestle, but you all creamed your pants over him.
And, you know, I also am entirely behind the idea of, oh, you want to see what this guy wrestle? You want to see this guy wrestle for the first time? All right, fork over the cash.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been a tactic in the past. You know, if you wanted to see Hulk Hogan wrestle, you'd have to watch the pay-per-views. You'd have to buy for the pay-per-views. He didn't wrestle on superstars. What are you talking about?
And boxing. That's how it goes in boxing, too. So, I'm really split here because, I mean, no, I'm not. Cody had a really good TNT title run. And he's always going to be in the upper echelon, even if he puts himself lower. People are still going to say things about him when AEW is brought up. The fact that he's using the American Dream stuff is making me sad because I feel like he's going to lose. And I feel like if you're going to use that gimmick for the one time, like you're saying, then it should be for a win, but I see a Go-Go winning here.
I don't think there's any other outcome. Regardless of what you feel about that promo or how you feel about Cody in general, this is not even a knock on him. I think that what made the QT Marshall split interesting was that he was taking three younger guys, three unknown quantities, essentially, and deciding to be like, we're entering a feud with Cody's boys, and we're going to see which ones are on top, right? So if we're doing the split and we're using younger guys, unknown talent, of course the target, I mean, we're talking logically, your target is to elevate these new guys.
Yeah.
Now, he's beaten QT Marshall, Cody I'm talking about, which is fine because you said it and I agree. QT Marshall is not your next big superstar. And honestly, not even sure QT wants to be in that spot. I think he's cool what he's doing. I think he's cool being a trainer. I
think he's very good at the role he's being given.
Exactly.
Yeah. It actually made me give a shit about him for the first time in my life.
Sure.
But also, let's say those three guys, you look at Comatero and you automatically think Bruiser Brody.
I love that guy.
He acts like Bruiser Brody more than Brody Lee or Brody King. And Aaron Solo, everyone is like, oh, it was just Bailey's ex-boyfriend. No, motherfuckers. This guy wrestled a legend in Jushin Thunder Liger. You all love to post that picture of Tyler Breeze facing Jushin Thunder Liger, but everybody seems to forget that Aaron Solo wrestled him.
And Solo's great. They're three super talented guys. So regardless of everything that's weighing down this match, ultimately, you have to put a go-go over. A go-go has to go over. If he doesn't, instant loss of credibility, and they're going to be nexus. They're going to nexus these guys.
Right.
Ultimately,
that's a shirt right there. A go-go has to go. ... Over.
Over. There you go. That's what. Put that on PWTs. But yeah, I mean, there's no other outcome for this one. Absolutely no other outcome. A go-go wins, just to be clear.
We are now moving into the title matches and ultimately to the main event. We're going to talk about Lance Archer is challenging for the AEW TNT Championship. He will be facing either Miro or Dante Martin. So, guys, who's winning, Lance Archer or Miro?
Miro retains.
Yes, Miro retains. And Miro has to retain because they're finally hitting the stride that we've all been waiting for. We're finally seeing a character that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
We're seeing the in-ring presence that we've all been waiting for. But why does it have to be at the expense of Lance Archer? That upsets me. But
everything
then,
I've
like,
heard,
in my mind, I think, well, he's on a pay-per-view, so he's probably getting more money. More people are going to see him. He's always a contender, so that's great. So then I shut my mind off.
everything I've been hearing is that Lance Archer has some big things coming up for him. I don't think it has anything to do with the TNT title, but apparently there's some big things coming up for him, and he has never been as happy in any wrestling promotion as he is right now in AEW.
You know, you saying that makes me think about the whole thing with Sting.
Yeah.
And if Sting and Darby lose, maybe Lance Archer interjects himself into that area and hits Sky with a bat.
Because
not on Double
Sure.
or Nothing, but
I agree, and I concur that there's something odd about throwing Lance Archer immediately into Miro's lap, where I think Miro should have a long, extended TNT title run because, I think he had a smooth entry into AEW. It was either one of these two things. Like this, Miro's entrance into AEW was a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. Because if they started pushing him, then you would have had, of course, WWE guy comes in, he gets pushed.
Yep.
He doesn't get pushed. What are you doing with Miro? They're wasting him. You're like, come on, guys. Like, come on. Like,
We're both guilty of that.
but I
more
mean,
or
a
less-
lot of us were. But my point is that it was a no-win for AEW, right? Whatever
Yeah.
spectrum you fell into is like, well, this is what we're doing with Miro. They put the title on him. I don't think we saw a smidgen of what Miro can do last week when he started calling out, when he came out with the title and the matching shorts, which is a fantastic look.
loved
And
it.
I loved it. And then he starts cutting a fire promo on Lance Archer. We know Miro can talk. That's not the point, but you're like, oh, okay, up to this level, awesome. Like he's just ready to go. He's just ready to go, perform, compete. That's what he wants to do. Let him do it. Keep the title on him for a while. But hopefully, whatever they have ready for Lance Archer, they can pull the trigger on really, really soon because, yeah, he needs something for sure and soon.
2 points.
I love
One,
my Murder Hawk.
my issue with the whole Miro thing before was not that he was getting pushed or if he wasn't getting pushed. It was more so I did not like the gimmick. I didn't like that he was around Kip
Sure.
Sabian and such.
There's
And
also
his
way more
pajamas
Kip
and-
Sabian involved.
Yeah.
Second thing, shit. Yeah, I don't remember, but it was good,
That's
guys. It was
It
really
was a good point.
It really was, but I couldn't shoot the point. I couldn't shoot the arrow. Fuck it, John.
All right. I mean, I'm going to have to go with Miro as well, even though I am a huge Lance Archer mark. Always have been.
Oh, that's what I was going to
What are you
say.
going to say?
Talking about that promo, here's another thing about AEW keeping its finger on the pulse. AEW rewards its fans for being smart marks and being marks. Because when I first heard the word Jesus come out of Miro's mouth, I'm like, what is he talking about? And then I thought, oh, because on Twitter, Lance Archer is God bless, God this, God that. He's a very Christian man.
Yeah.
It hasn't come into his character.
I'd
at
say
all.
more Christian AF than the Young Bucks.
Yes, and we also know that someone else is a born-again Christian, a.k.a. Sting.
Yeah.
So that goes more into the idea that I laid out earlier. But yeah, I like that AEW rewards its fans for being knowledgeable and doesn't treat them like children.
Right.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah. I'm going with Miro as well.
Yeah. Good commentary there, John.
Thank you. I mean, what am I really supposed to say? I mean,
I'll make sure to make you lead on the match predictions from now on, so that we don't take everything out of your mind first.
Right. Hikaru Shida defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
You misread that. You misread that. It's Hikaru Shida losing the AEW Women's title to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I think that's.
I mean, selfishly, I need Britt Baker to win because she's going to be at Steel City Con in June, and I want to see the AEW World title in person.
There's no
other outcome.
No,
we all. Britt Baker is 100% the face of the women's division,
and has been
even when she was fucking injured.
Even before
and
that,
the fact that she hasn't been champion
had the charisma
already
that carried along that division. She had the matches that people talked about, especially the one with Thunder Rosa.
Yeah,
it's her time to win. There's been talk about Tessa Blanchard possibly getting involved here. I don't think that's going to happen at all. And there's also been talk of, well, what happens to Shida after she loses?
Shida's still a badass.
Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill and all them girls are running amok, if you don't remember. And also, she's formed a very good relationship with Tay Conti, and Anna Jay is still out, so there's something to happen there, possibly. Yeah. You don't have to worry about a top-tier performer who's had, a year run with the title. So everyone can quit worrying and just enjoy the fucking show.
People seem to always forget that we're watching AEW, not WWE. The difference is you're not going to see somebody lose a title and then fuck off for a year and a half. That doesn't happen in AEW.
I've got nothing to add. Everything like this match is it's a no-brainer. It's really a no-brainer. This is where you put your money on. You know, the odds are probably completely in Britt Baker's favor. You'll probably make $5 off of a $500 bet, but you know, it's like this. I mean, she's at her hottest. She's never been this hot. Everything has just fallen into place for her. Give her the title when she's at her peak, and this is it right here. And God bless Hikaru Shida for carrying that title across the pandemic era. Not an easy feat. She was a worthy champion, and not even a knock on her. It's just that now you put Baker as the champion, you get fresh matches. Yeah. Shida's been through everyone at this point, so now we're going to get some fresh matches.
Little side note, Warren, have you ever seen the video or GIF? I think it's a video of Kana, a.k.a. Asuka, Syuri Kondo, and Hikaru Shida dancing on a stage in Japan.
I think I have.
It's fantastic.
Yes,
because,
I think I have.
Three of the best Joshi wrestlers of this era, possibly the best in Asuka, if you consider her accolades. But it just warms my heart. All right, so we all agree that the title will change hands for the women.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people might say, oh, they're biased because they're from Pittsburgh, but, like, fuck them.
No, we explained in depth.
We explained everything.
It has nothing to do about her being from Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I don't give a shit where she's from.
Because if that was true,
she claims Pittsburgh, but she never in interviews she never specifies like from where. So it's very confusing.
Why do you care?
Because man,
that's weird.
Like what part of Pittsburgh? And even in her Wikipedia, like I think she's like a South Hills.
What you think that they're gonna say Lawrenceville? You think they're gonna say fucking Sheridan? No,
bro. I know where Kurt Angle is from.
That's because you're a stalker and you went to his house.
No, it's because everyone in Pittsburgh knew where the fuck he was from. Same with Shane Douglas. Nobody
They've
knows
also been
where in
around way
Pittsburgh
longer.
Prince Baker was, whatever. Fuck it.
She's got the Steelers logo on her tights. She has the Britsburg t-shirt.
So,
She's from
you know who else has the Steelers logo on their tights?
Lee Moriarty, probably.
Some little kid in Ireland. Steelers Nation's everywhere.
That's true.
I'll take your word for it.
It's true, man. They have bars all across the world. It's weird.
All right, here we go.
Because we haven't been good for a while.
We're talking about tag team titles.
And you're going to talk about them first.
Yeah. We're talking about Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, the friendship that I want to be part of.
I need a buddy cop movie.
Oh, absolutely.
I need a podcast.
With Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley.
Please fucking do it.
Awesome. It would definitely be R-rated, but it'd be awesome.
It might get that NC-17.
It might just get that. But they're taking on the Young Bucks.
So Christian Dior Jordans against a box of Newports, as it were. Max Caster said, which was fucking hilarious.
That was so funny.
And the lunatic cringe. So, John,
lunatic cringe blew my mind. It was just like when AJ Styles said "Y2 Jackass," and I immediately went, "Why has no one ever said that before?"
Right? Yes.
But yeah. I don't know, man. I've often praised AEW for not putting tag team shine when they stick two random singles competitors together. But that's kind of something that I want to see happen here. I would lose my mind if Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston beat the Young Bucks. Especially because of all the people who haven't beaten the Young Bucks. Mm-hmm. It would solidify the Young Bucks just going nuts and being the assholes that they're trying to be now. You know what I mean? Like, Mox and Kingston. Let's go.
Warren?
I don't care about this match at all.
Really?
Like, I've got no horse in this race. It's just going to happen, and it's going to be a good match because there's too much talent for it to suck, right? So I'm not sitting here and saying this match is going to stink, but here's the thing: you have AEW, who essentially built part of its reputation. One of the things that they wanted to use to differentiate themselves from everyone else is to put an emphasis on tag team wrestling and getting all these great tag teams involved, and still to this day, it's amazing, and they treat it like it matters, like it's important. And then you put two singles guys together in a tag team, and then they challenge for the tag titles. And I can't get behind that. I can understand that you want to move Moxley away from Omega. You want to give him something high profile I understand the mechanics around it. I understand the booking. Like, the booking is sensible, and you cannot, as you said, complain with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston palling around and bouncing off of each other and trying to make each other laugh during their promos, right? Like that's something that's the value in all of this. But I don't see the Bucks dropping the titles.
Right.
I don't see why this match is really happening. It just feels like this. I feel this is the most placeholder match that we've had on a pay-per-view in AEW in a while,
isn't it?
What's that?
And it's a bit of a manufactured feud, isn't it?
I think so. It doesn't feel organic. It feels contrived. It felt like it still felt like Jon Moxley was wanting to piss off Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, like, the Young Bucks sort of stepped in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. So this is what we're doing.
It seems like something that's being caused solely by BTE.
At the same time, sure. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm like bring me the match. Let's have it happen. These guys are too good for it to not be.
I'll enjoy watching it.
It's going to be fun.
Well, yeah.
There's that's fine. But I'm like, this is the one that I'm like, okay.
And
let's just get it over with.
Say it. I want Moxley and Kingston to win because I want to see Don Callis get pissed off and be funny. Like that.
So
yeah.
I'll say this. I listened to both of you talk intently, and I respect both of your opinions, but I disagree with you on a few things. It doesn't feel manufactured because when Moxley was trying to get his comeuppance, Young Bucks were still in that state of we're good guys, and they helped him, and then he said, I owe you one, and then he started to put trust in the Young Bucks, and then ultimately Don Callis won over the Young Bucks. So it does make sense that this is that they are now the target before coming back to Omega. Putting two single stars together, we do hate that, don't we? We hate that because usually it doesn't make sense when we see it. It doesn't make sense at all. We just think, why is Evan Bourne with Jamaican Kofi Kingston? Why is Drew McIntyre with Cody Rhodes? None of this makes sense to me. But when it comes
to the Big Show together,
but when it comes to this situation, when Moxley was feuding with Eddie Kingston, it was highly exploited that they knew each other from the Indies, that they were friends on the Indies. Eddie Kingston had said, I think after the match, some good things about Jon Moxley, and then he came to save Moxley from the explosion that was supposed to happen. So I feel like the things that you guys said, I understand where they're coming from, because we all feel like that we have all felt like that for a very long time. But in this situation, I think you give it a pass. But another thing, the Young Bucks do not lose, and here's a couple of reasons why. One, it doesn't matter if the Good Brothers hold the Impact Tag Team titles or not. Them being on AEW is enough for them and enough for the story. They don't have to be champions to be who they are. But we all know, we can all see this with the working relationship with Impact. AEW hasn't really exposed itself so much in Impact has allowed Impact to come over to AEW as AEW New Japan has come over to Impact.
Yeah.
Which probably has a lot to do with their thinned roster. So the Young Bucks aren't going to lose because they need to hold the AEW tag titles, because in this entire situation, AEW is, pardon my pun, the pinnacle. Not Impact, not AAA, not New Japan. So, and also, going back to what we were talking about at the beginning about Nick Gage, Moxley and Kingston can thwart all of the things. They can get to right there at the finish line, and Nick Gage can come out and simply distract Moxley, and Moxley will have Moxley's full attention.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a good way for the Young Bucks to win, because it doesn't take away from Kingston and Moxley. It makes the Young Bucks even more prickish that they win a major match in a shit fashion, and it sets something else up. And it starts to move Moxley away from the whole elite storyline. Those are my thoughts. I'm Tim Farley. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for going to my TED Talk.
Yes.
My Tim talk.
So yeah, I will agree with you guys that the Young Bucks.
Oh, we need to make a series called Tim Talks.
Christ.
Yes.
I could do it. You know I can.
I know you could.
I just won't broadcast it in China.
China.
Anyway, what's next?
Well, we only got 2 more to talk about.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. We got
I'm hungry.
All right, let's go for it. 3-way match for the AEW World Championship. It's going to be Kenny by God Omega.
Wait.
We're going to...
You said there's 2 more matches and that's...
Yeah.
That's not the main event.
Wait.
Man, I'm dumb.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to talk about some reasons that I think the main event is the main event coming up. Kenny Omega is defending against Orange Cassidy and Pac.
If I will, I'll take this first.
If I will.
We know Kenny Omega's not going to lose. Pac is one of, if not the greatest wrestlers on the world. And Orange Cassidy is a money mover. So Kenny Omega wins somehow, but I think this is where all you people on the internet will start to see a glimmer of what you want. Since Orange Cassidy is in the Best Friends and Pac is in Death Triangle, somewhere here is where they're going to start the inception of the trio's titles. I don't have any more analysis other than that.
It's already been all but confirmed that trio titles are coming. We just don't know when.
Mm-hmm. Well, before the pandemic, it was rumored to happen on the boat of Jericho.
Of Jericho.
But I think this match will plant the seeds.
Oh, absolutely. Because that trios title tournament, if they do have a tournament, they should have a tournament. I hope they have a tournament. It's going to come down to the Best Friends in Death Triangle.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Or it could be Rocky Romero and Trent and Chuck. But either way, that's what I got to say about this match, and it's gonna fucking roll because all 3 of them are fantastic fucking wrestlers.
My heart would be all aflutter if Rocky, Show, and Yo were somehow involved.
Mm-hmm. No, not Show and Yo. Trent and Chuck.
I said my heart would be aflutter if Rocky, Show, and Yo were involved.
That'd be insane.
Yes.
That'd be really insane.
All right.
No, neither of you have talked.
Well, I'm about to talk.
Well, looked like you were about to go into the next.
It's all right. Don't look at my phone. Just focus on me. Kenny Omega is going to win. For sure. I agree with you on that one. You're making me a little uncomfortable.
You told me to focus on you.
Orange Cassidy is the money mover, like you said. So, if anybody but Kenny were to win this match, it would probably be Orange. To
make me a sad panda.
I mean...
Because I love Pac, and I want him to get a world title before he retires, and I don't know how much longer he has.
But how crazy would it be if Orange wins in some ludicrous fashion?
That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still cheer. Because I like them all.
Let's get Orange Cassidy Toru Yanoing his way to a victory.
Fuck, you can't Yano your way into a world championship. If that were to happen, do you know how many WWE marks would go insane?
You know how little of a fuck I would give?
Me, you, him, and everybody else who talks about AEW. I mean, I see the polls on your YouTube every week. What show did you like the most? It's always AEW. So everybody else who votes on those things are going to be like, "Oh, Warren, look at this fucking stupid now." But anyway, and Cornette. Actually, you know what? I hope that happens. So Cornette finally has a fucking brain aneurysm and dies.
That's what I'm getting at. I mean, for fuck's sake, I mean, all these people talk about, and I'd like them to point to a time in history in which wrestling wasn't inherently stupid.
Oh, especially when every motherfucker glorifies the Attitude Era. But if you went on the WWE network when it wasn't censored and it was available to U.S. residents, you would realize how fucking terrible, cringe, and stupid a lot of it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's hear from our Canadian friend.
There's no way Cody's dropping the title, and Cody, excuse not Kenny.
He can't even.
I'm a visionary. I'm booking 3 years from now. No, there's no way Kenny is dropping the title. Kenny Omega's hanging on to the title, that's for sure. I'm not a big fan of the triple threat, but I think it's because we're oversaturated with them, or we have been oversaturated with them. It could have been just a straight up. It honestly could have been straight up Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy.
Say that, but my answer would be, well, you complain about the triple threat, but you love Kenny Omega, and it wouldn't be a triple threat if Kenny didn't fuck around and stick his nose in it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it could have been Kenny versus Pac. It could have been Kenny versus OC. Whatever match you put Kenny in, it's gonna sell pay-per-views. Sorry, Kenny haters. That's the truth.
Warren, anything else?
No, that pretty much wraps it up. Like, that's it. It's like I feel it could have been a singles match. I think, return of the audiences.
Yeah.
People are going to be nuts to see Orange Cassidy again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's fine. It's not going to be a suck match because the three guys in the ring are way too talented for it to be bad.
Right.
So.
Since this is happening on Thursday, I could see, last week Orange Cassidy took that second copy from Callis and Omega, and he didn't rip it up. He could play a game on Friday night and
that's true.
Act like he did sign it, and then actually not, and show up at the pay-per-view and keep it a three-way. Mm-hmm. And like at some point, let's say Omega has the pack against the ropes, and all of a sudden you hear that'd be fucking cool. Now on to what you think is going to be the main event, John.
Oh no, I'm going on to what is confirmed as the main event.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit, where have I been?
Tim, you don't have your finger on the pulse of Twitter.
You know what? I've been engrossed in Animal Crossing, trying to make this island as good as possible. I've been in Puro World and in Fruits Basket World.
Yeah.
So have mercy on me.
Well, we're going to talk about the Stadium Stampede match. And we're going to talk about the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. And this was confirmed as the main event, and everybody said, no! But let me talk to the people. At its core, the very idea of the Stadium Stampede match should lead everyone to believe that it's not exactly sanctioned. I mean, it's a ridiculous circus of a match. Of course it's not going to be in the arena. It's not going to be like it. Yeah. The Stadium Stampede only works as the opener or closer of a show. Mm. And the Pinnacle is supposed to be the new greatest thing happening, and the Inner Circle has been the greatest thing happening since it arrived. And if the Inner Circle loses, they have to disband forever. This is a main event match. It's not for a title. It's not for the world title. But the world title being the last match in the arena makes it the crowd's main event. we're not in the pandemic era anymore. I mean, we still kind of are, but we're not in the no crowd era anymore. We're in the era where you have to start thinking about what the crowd is getting to see too.
And
this is most likely going to be a pre-taped match.
And
what?
What's your prediction?
And the Inner Circle's winning.
Okay.
Because they're not breaking up the Inner Circle. They're not breaking up the Inner Circle.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
That's what I mean. Why not?
They're breaking up the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle is done.
Chris Jericho.
Are they done?
Pull the plug on that. It's
Chris
done.
Jericho
We're
has
good.
proven time and time and time again that he can do anything.
Yeah.
He can change his character at any time. We got the feel-good moment of them being faces.
True.
Sammy Guevara, proud and powerful, are destined for greener pastures. Jake, you might hang around Jericho. No, I like Jake in AEW.
Sorry.
But the only reason that I could see Inner Circle winning is because they lost Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
But, like you said, the Pinnacle is the new big, great thing. And they've already released a second shirt, which I bought yesterday. So expect to see that eventually. MJF, Dax, Cash, Wardlow, all them guys. Sean Spears even. Holy shit. I can't believe I'm saying this. After that promo last week or 2 weeks ago, I actually give a shit about him for the first time in my life. This is going to be a different Stadium Stampede because you don't have Matt Hardy involved.
Right.
So there's not going to be
any magic.
Right. You're not going to see
no horses.
The Hangman Adam Page stuff like with the horses or at the bar.
No golf carts.
This is going to be less theatrical and more of a brawl, more of a fight. There's going to be more blood.
That has to be violent.
Sammy will do something crazy.
This is definitely going to be less comedy and more ooh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I just don't see the Inner Circle winning. I feel like the proud and powerful and Sammy Guevara need to extend themselves farther from the group, and it will be a great heat getter for the Pinnacle, and it will put them over even more as the faction you don't want to fuck with.
Yeah, you after Blood and Guts, it can't be comedy. You can't have people coming in on horseback. You can't have people resurrecting after being drowned in pools. You can't have anything of that. You can't take two steps back when you've gone down the path of Blood and Guts at this point. I'm really curious to see how they're going to pull it off because they do have a live crowd. Because Stadium Stampede had the benefit of not having anyone. That was the idea. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to pull it off with the live crowd. How much is going to be actually happening out on the field and whatnot. So,
I did look, and it would be taking weird place in the field, but crowds are allowed in the bleachers, right? So, is there going to be a crowd there?
Well, I mean, the point is it would be strange for a main event. Let's say because I do believe it's going to be the main event, for a main event to happen just on the screen and people sitting around in the arena watching a match unfold on screen. I think it can't only happen there. I'm very curious to see how they're going to go for it.
Maybe they'll, after the World Championship match, maybe Excalibur and Ross and Tony will bullshit about the next Dynamite or the next big event.
Which is when they're moving everybody into the stadium.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Sort of like how at the last pay-per-view they put on the Sting and Darby versus Team Taz cinematic match in the place that it was, and everyone was like, "Why is this happening now? Why is this cinematic?" And it was like, "You fucking idiots!" Because they're setting up the ring for an exploding barbed wire death match. That's not a fast process.
And apparently, that cinematic match was not long enough.
No, not long enough at all. Because, especially when you see when it cuts back to the arena and there's guys still dragging boards into place.
So, John goes with the Inner Circle, Mr. Warren Hayes, and myself.
Yeah, but I'm definitely wrong.
With the Pinnacle.
You made a lot of good points.
Absolutely.
And please say it, Warren. This has been.
This was a fun show, you guys.
Yay.
Even if you didn't feel like it, I made you say it. So.
No, this was a good time, guys. I enjoyed talking with you. This was a lot of fun. Absolutely.
Yeah. We love you, Warren. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be with us. Warren, if you want to plug in anything, go ahead.
YouTube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes is where I record my podcast live every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So, if you're watching this right now, pop on over later tonight. YouTube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. That's what happens. 9 p.m. We'll be going through a bunch of stuff. And you can follow me on Twitter as well at Mr. Warren Hayes.
And Warren, I'm going to be getting a new job that gives me normal hours. So you'll be seeing more of me in those chat rooms.
Yeah, and the chat room on the Mr. Warren Hayes show is a great place to hang out.
Absolutely.
I mean, and when you go there, you're going to hear about the Mr. Warren Hayes Discord, which is another great place to hang out.
Absolutely as well. Yes. And
And
the link is in the description of all those videos if you want to find it. I tweet it out often as well. So please be sure to join.
I mean, he's one of the best people we've met on the internet.
Oh, thank you guys. You guys are awesome too. You guys are so awesome.
Aside from the Indian.
Aside from the Indian.
Yes.
Mr. Sidrick.
Yeah.
Sidrick the Entertainer, as we like to call him.
Those are our top guys. Those are our Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardy.
Mr. Warren Hayes' link tree is in the description of this video. That's where you can find all of his stuff. Ours is down there too, but you probably shouldn't click on that.
You ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, you have a great one, and
peace and love to all of you. Bring it in, Warren. Bring it in.
Bang!